Hello everyone, I'm Chris Mozillo's son, and this is a review of the episode Gladiolus DLC for Final Fantasy 15. So it's been nearly a year since I last looked at Final Fantasy 15, and I kinda wonder what's been going on since. Oh no. Noctis, what happened to you? Weird Assassin's Creed Festival aside, some of the DLC episodes that were in the Season Pass have finally been released, starting with one centered around the big muscle man himself, Gladio. So let's take a look at that.
Check it out, guys. I'm an assassin.
Oh, Noctis, you're too adorable. Episode Gladiolus takes place in the story shortly after Gladio got his tuchus handed to him by Ravis.
The King's Sworn Shield.
You better believe it.
A weak shield protects not.
Well, it takes place a lot further in the future in the story because it's actually like a story told around the campfire because they're doing it all like in media res, you know. After this wound to his pride, Gladio heads off to become stronger so that he can defend his king properly because, well, he cares about Noctis, despite being mean to him most of the game. In doing so, Gladio meets up with Core the Immortal, almost doubling the man's screen time in the game, what with this dinner scene alone.
What'll it be? Just the water's fine. Thanks.
Gladio, you cheapskate, going for some free tap water and then just leaving? No wonder he lost with manners like that. Gladiolus sets off to the aptly named Tempering Grounds to hone his skills as the shield of the king, the chosen king. This king. How does Gladio increase his skills though? Is it some sort of intense training, like weightlifting? Whole like DLC of just watching Gladio lift weights. Ho ho ho! No, it's a boss rush, sort of. It's literally just killing a lot of bosses. That's how you become stronger. Or to take down the big boy himself, Gilgamesh, the Blade Master. Seen here beating Gladiolus like he's some kind of loser. So you set out on a journey of killing the undead and you'll face a plethora of bosses, such as this weird big thing with the laser.
Prepare yourself, young warrior.
Whoa, chill out. As you finish off each boss, you'll gain an ability that helps you fight the final boss, Gilgamesh, such as the ability to actually do damage to him, which you'd think would actually be a useful skill to have. Your bosses include a whole host of enemies, and where would we be in a Final Fantasy game without a boss that is actually a wall? Perfect, I can just tick that one off the bingo card. Dare I say it though, this DLC feels a little bit like, well, Dark Souls, except with a greater feeling of safety. You'll be blocking and countering your foes' moves to pull off some tight counters, and that's pretty much where the Dark Souls ends, other than the way the enemies look. As then, well, the combat gets a little weirder. You can pick up a stone pillar from the wall and just swing it around like it's no one's business. Just smash them with the old bosh! And it feels great. Plus, some of the counters are so outlandishly silly that you can't help but smile when Gladio takes the time to grab an enemy by the feet and legs and then just spin around with it and launching it into other foes. I mean, yes, the countering doesn't actually work that often. You'll more often roll randomly than actually block, but there's something quite fun about the bombastic nature of the combat. The areas where the actual combat really shines are two particular boss fights, because they feel more like a one-on-one duel than a fight against some gargantuan creature that may or may not have a sword just out of sheer coincidence, because I don't know, it was taped to its hand or something. They're fast-paced, and getting in a block in counter combo at the right moment feels tight and tense. It's a shame not more of this 1.5 hour piece of DLC didn't have more of that. And that's kind of it for episode of Gladiolus. You do have a score attack mode and an optional boss, but most of your time may just come from sitting around a campfire and enjoying a pot noodle. The story's a little bit weak because it presents the idea of Gladiolus' weaknesses, a chink in his otherwise flawless abs, I mean shield, but there's little reflection on Gladio's part. Instead, he just kind of hits things with a big sword, and the DLC acts more of just an excuse to have gameplay as Gladio. But hey, at least there's always episode Pronto on the horizon. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. It's a rather short one, so if you want, there is a more in-depth, writey, wordy piece in the description below where I'll have talked about episode Gladio and in more finer details. So feel free to check that out. If you want, also check out some of my other videos and maybe give your own thoughts about the episode of our muscular, macho man friend. Thank you and goodbye.